Okay, I wasn't planning on doing a video on this. This is just an instrument cluster that came in for odometer correction. So, wasn't really planning on doing a video here, but I opened it up and I saw something interesting. I said, "Oh, what the fuck did they do to it? Why did they uh, put the bodge wires here? And, to use regular wires here instead of the jumpers that came on there." And I was like, wait, this looks like this could be factory, because I was looking at it and it's got the conformal coating on there. It doesn't look like it's been hand soldered. Like, the conformal coating's still there, like it's from a factory working on it. And then I was looking at it and I noticed it had these little spacers here, like to keep the wires where they're supposed to be. These don't have that on there, so I'm washing it out there with that bright light. There we go. These don't have that going on there, so has anybody ever seen these before? I've never seen this. I've never seen it with the wire there. And I'm not noticing anything else different about it other than that. There's no sticker on the back of this. Oh, wrong cluster. A little bit back. There. Here we go. There's not a sticker on the back of here that would hint that it had ever been worked on by somebody. And here's the rest of the cluster. There's no real, there's no warranty sticker anywhere. I don't think this is a warranty. And by the way, when you mail me a damn cluster, wrap it in bubble wrap, because this is what happens if you don't. This was just loose in the box, so it was banging around in the box and got cracked. Uh, sorry, Justin Moore, your lens got cracked. I have some replacement ones if you want to buy a new one, and I will shoot you a message as soon as I remember to. But yeah, that's interesting. So let's take a look here. It's still kind of tight on there though. Oh well, that's this damn guy. Sometimes these things melt on there and get stuck. 'Cause, see, with this having the bodge wires there, I can literally just do that, and we're not dealing with all those problems like we did with the other ones. I'm not seeing a crack on there. Oh, yep, I see the crack. Cause this screen's not working. So let's power it up real quick. I think the crack is still on there, even though it's got the wires instead of the hard jumpers there. Yep. So there we go. Now we got it working. Yep, it's got a crack over here on the ground pin. That's funny that even though because I'm sure that's why they used wires, was to help prevent it from cracking, because these are very firm, so it'll cause it to crack. So you'll notice that there is, if I can get it to focus. See, if you notice, it's kind of springed off there. That is to help absorb some of that, so to help reduce the risk of cracked solder joints. You'll see them do that when they stand up a resistor. They'll put a little wiggle on it when it's standing up like that. Anytime that you have those extendedly high things that are prone to vibration damage, you'll do that kind of little thing to it, and that really helps reduce the cracking. These things still get cracked all the time. Yeah, that's weird though. I've never seen that before, so I just wanted to show that in a video. It, is this just me? Have I been living under a rock and there's a ton of these out there like this? Because I've literally never seen one like it. But it's wire too, so it's nice because I can just flip it over when dealing with it, instead of having this desolder. I'm still gonna desolder it though, because these all need to be resoldered anyways, because that's got plenty of play in it. But yeah, that's. I did work on the CNC machine today, like I promised yesterday. I told you I was going to work on it and do a video. I got most of it done. I still need to wire in the stepper motor, and I'll record doing that, and then that video will be done. Waiting on the MIM tool to show up. It's finally showing in tracking, so then I can work on reverse engineering some of the other MCUs. But yeah, it's not a MIM tool, sorry, it's a mini wiggler. The software is MIM tool, the tool is a mini wiggler. What a dumb name for a tool. Okay, so I emailed him and he said that it was already cracked before he shipped it. So, I guess if that's the case, I still would have put padding on there though. It could have got worse. All right, so I went ahead and reflowed this because I've shown that a million times. There's no need to do another video on it. It's got a little bit more flux still on there. I already scrubbed it off once, but all right, get the paper. So the other thing you can see is, if the camera will focus in this close here. Yeah, come on, focus. It's literally just wire sticking out the end too. This almost looked like it had a header on there, but yeah, you can see the individual frays of the wire there. So yeah, that's interesting. This is just some multi-strand wire that they use there. All right. Here's the housing, and like I said, it's got that interesting little thing. Like this was like a factory thing going on here. I don't know. I've really never seen one that was set up like this. So there we go. It's just easier to reflow this stuff if you just take it off. The wire's kind of nice though, because it should lead to more flexibility. But then again, wire, when you have this really extreme kind of angle here, this really is not a very light angle going on here. That's a pretty rough angle to be making. I mean, you could internally crack the wire. So I don't know if this is the best idea. I I think if you're gonna do a board, this is the right way to do it. With these springed things. I mean, yeah, we all know that these cracked like crazy down here. Like this is a super common problem. Um, I think that what could have resolved having that problem is doing another two little studs here that just solder in, kind of like you see on RF shields and stuff. I think if you'd had two little metal studs going from either side there, you'd reduce a lot of the vibration and could have reduced the amount of cracks you see on these. But that's just my thought. I'm not an engineer. I'm sure either that idea wouldn't work or it would just be cost prohibitive of another thing that had to go on there. So um, I've always wondered why these were done like this though, because they really do get a ton of cracked solder joints on them. I mean, you almost could have just put the screen down lower. I think you would have still been able to read it just fine. It's done slightly bigger VFD on there. Just put the whole thing on there. There's plenty of room on this board for these components to go here. I mean, I've never seen one with all of these populated. I mean, you got all this space over here. These components could have been over here. There's a ton of space right here where components could have sat. So I mean, there's no like, hey, we had to have these components down here, and so now we have to lift this board off. I've always wondered why it was designed this way, though. It's a poor design. You get a lot of. This is the main problem you really have with these boards here. You never really see other stuff going on too often. All right, so there we go. Got the screen back on. The customer didn't complain about this being a problem, but as soon as I took it out of the box, the screen was not working at all. It had no VFD, so I was like, oh, you said it was a higher mileage cluster that needed to be rolled down, but how the hell did he know that? But yeah, this is a junkyard cluster he bought, and we're just making it match his factory mileage on here. So still got some flux left on it from when I desoldered it, so no need to add more. Yeah, this is going to be a simple repair though, pretty quick. Just taking care of this screen while I got it. Sometimes you'll get cracked solder joints over here, so I'll take a good look over there too before I button it up and do the odometer. Okay, so odometer correction, it's taken care of, screen is fixed and working, and everything's good. So yeah, this is done. I'll get with the customer about payment and send it to him. But I just wanted to add one more thing before I end the video. I'd actually already recorded an ending and was like, you know what, I'm going to do this. So if you guys want, I will put together a Facebook group and moderate the Facebook group for repair techs. It'll just be electronics, automotive electronics for it. So that covers instrument clusters, PCMs, BCMs, ABS modules, window switches, whatever electronics would be the focus of it, and it would be component level. So anything circuit board related. I really don't want it to do any mechanic stuff on the group, so no like um, I don't know, no engine rebuild guide, stuff like that. I just want, because there's a ton of those. There's a huge number of mechanic forums. There's really only two forums I know of for doing this. There's Digital Chaos, which is really only about odometer correction. I mean, they also do the immobilizers and stuff like that too. But like their dashboard stuff is like, it's like, how do I power this up and how do I change the mileage? And that's it. That's really all what they talk about. There's not too many repair guides or guys talking about repair in there. Um, the other thing is the other forum, sorry, is like MHH or whatever, and they charge you $25 just to join. And from what I've seen from searching it, it's really not that great. So I haven't paid to join. You can read it, but you don't get like all the good search features and all of that. But you are capable of just using Google search, where the crawler scrapes it and all of that, and take a look. It looks okay. It doesn't look like the best. So I'd like to do it. I know Jeff talked about making a forum for this a long time ago on his channel. I remember the video because I really thought about it, and I've talked to him before about us putting the forum together. Basically said, hey, if you'll host it, I'll run it. Um, and didn't take me up on it because concerns about it, intellectual property, and I didn't even think about that. It's a very valid concern. Is lawsuits from GM for putting all of their intellectual property out there is a real concern there. I don't think it'd actually happen. I mean, if you take a look at PCMhacking.net, they have a ton of information out there, and they really focus in on the manufacturer's intellectual property there, and they've never had any problems. They do stay away from tools like they don't want any of HP Tuners or EFI Live's intellectual property to show up on their stuff. So like if you start like putting a bunch of bins with their stuff on there, they won't get too happy with you. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a thought. If y'all are interested in a Facebook group, that's great. Jeff will be left out though because he doesn't do Facebook. So I think the Facebook group would be temporary too. I think once we figure out how we want to host this and stuff, we'll do that. I want to do some research into um, offshore hosting. Basically, like the same host that hosts the Pirate Bay. I'd like to host our stuff because, I mean, it is a real possibility. Manufacturers could totally come after what's on the page, and so I would like for it to be hosted in a country that doesn't really care about that stuff, so that way they won't respond to requests on that information and stuff like that, just to keep all the members safe. And I mean, that's highly unlikely. Like I said, I think on a scale of GM giving a fuck about us is from 1 to 10, we're at 0. Like we don't even register, even though I email them all the time, like, hey, give me this proprietary information. I want to know. I'm sure they still have no clue who the hell I am, because they got way bigger fish to fry. And this is like 20 years old. What do they care about it? Like, this is a 20-year-old design, so they don't care about this anymore. They hardly support it anymore. So um, yeah, I hope you guys would be interested in that, and let's make a Facebook page. Haven't thought of a name yet. Comment down below what you think we should name the Facebook page. I'll put it together and I'll help run it. I mean, if y'all want to put it together, I really don't care. I'll join. But I want a technicians page that is for technicians. And people that are not technicians are welcome to join and read, but we're not gonna advertise our businesses on there at all. Other than like if you have like a YouTube channel where you show how to do repairs, you're absolutely welcome to do that. But like no posting. Well, it depends. I don't know. We'll talk it over. We'll figure out the rules on it. But no, like, definitely not going to allow advertising of, hey, I do general instrument cluster repairs like that. No, I'm not. I'm not going to allow that kind of advertising in the group. But like, if you have some specialty thing that you do that nobody else does, I would totally allow that. Like, if you will, like, let's take those '80s Corvettes for example. The LCD screens, the polarizing lens gets what's it, sunburnt, and you have to replace them. And I have no idea how to replace a polarizing lens, and I really have no interest in learning how. So if you like have like that specialty niche where it's like, hey, I fix polarizing lenses on LCDs, that would totally be allowed to advertise. Or I would even say if you are a supplier of parts, we would allow that in there too. Stuff that the technicians would be interested in buying. I think we should allow some commercial posts like that. But like, hey, I do general work that everybody else in the group's doing, and I think shouldn't be allowed. Just I don't know. That's my thought on it. But y'all let me know. Let me know down below. Nothing's set in stone. Um, I'd like 2 or 3 people to help run this. I'm not. I don't have the time to run the thing all by myself. But we're gonna make this group. We're gonna do this so that way we can get the ball rolling. And if we get enough interest in the group, if the group has enough active members and we talk enough, then we could move on to a forum. Facebook groups free to make. Forums cost money to host. I mean, there are some free hosts, but not really interested in that. So, yeah, just comment down below on that. I'll stop rambling. See you in the next